Yo, what is up, guys? Your boy Saz here, bringing you guys a video about my Fur Hire deck profile for October of 2018, or post Soul Fusion, whatever you want to say. I've been testing this deck out for quite some time. Actually, I've been testing this deck out longer than I expected, but recently I've been touching up with the deck because the recent release of Falgo and Soul Fusion. It's a really strong card. Link 3, being able to draw 3 cards when you destroy your opponent's card, and you have 3 Fur Hire monsters on the field, and being able to special summon a Fur Hire from the deck, so you can summon stuff like Raphael and Wiz. These cards are just really strong. But Fur Hires is a pretty underrated deck. I think that people just say like Fur Hire just lose to like Solemn Strike, Widow Anchor, stuff like that. They just lose to a lot of hand traps, and I think that's a bad way of looking at it. I don't think this is like the strongest deck to play, but I think it's a really fun deck to play, and it's a really fun rogue deck you can play, and you get a lot of wins with it if you play the deck right. Like this build is like really focused on like stopping the usual card that you just lose to. So let's get started with the deck profile. We play 3 Beat, 3 Bravo, 3 Dampa, 3 Helmer, 3 Raphael, 2 Recon, 3 Sail, and 3 Wiz. These are just all the Fur Hire cards you need. You need a lot of Fur Hire cards in your hand. You usually want to have like 3 or 4 like Fur Hire cards in your hand. So like B is your priority. You want to have this card in your hand, so you play Worda. So like B just gets you to a lot of your Fur Hire cards. And Helmer gets you to dig deeper in your deck. Seal gets back your monsters from the graveyard. And then you have Dampa and Recon to pop cards. This is not the best going first cards, like, yeah, but they do summon your fire cards from your hand, so they're really good. And then, Bravo is really good for boosting up your monsters, so that can be really good going second. But, like, these 3 are just, like, not really that good, going for, yeah, first. But, going second, they're really good. And then, Raphael and Wiz being able to negate spells and traps with Wiz, and, monster effects with Raphael, and then being able to gain life points with Wiz is pretty decent for time. And then Raphael, you can just add any card, like Ogre is really strong. So I think this deck is really strong for that. So, these are all the Fur Hire cards. You need to run all of these Fur Hire cards. You want to have a lot of Fur Hire cards in your hand so you can get out your Link monster, which is really important. And then, summon your Wiz or your Raphael to the field, whichever one you're just like missing. So, that is why you play all these monsters. And then you play 3 Ogre is really good. It's just like triggering off Falgo is just really strong, but there's not a lot of cards that you can play like Ogre to destroy your opponent's cards, like Solemn Strike. I tried to play. It's just really slow, and it's not a thing that you can play going second. So, I wanted to put a lot of cards to stop yourself from like losing to, Widow Anchor and, Solemn Strike and stuff like that. So Ogre is just as much as the disruption as you can play. And then for the spells, you play 2 Called by the Grave just to stop hand traps, obviously. And then you play 3 Instant Fusion. You can use Millennium Eyes Restrict to stop hand traps. So what you're going to do is, Instant Fusion and then do all your fire effects so you can stop yourself from getting like ashed or ogred or stuff like that. So, Millennium Eyes Restrict is just really good for stopping hand traps. And then Magical Mythbreaker Field is a really good card. You've seen this in Go Keys. It's really good in this deck so you can stop yourself from getting Widow Anchored and Permanents and, all this other stuff like Ogre and stuff like that. It's just really good. I think this card, yeah, it does conflict with Ogre, but then again, you would rather have something conflict than, have something that stops your whole entire play, like, Impermanence or Ogre and stuff like that, or Effect Veiler. It's just really good. You play 1 Reinforcement of the Army for beat, obviously, and then you play the Sky Striker Engine. You don't have to play Engage. You could probably play Strikes over this, but the consistency of, having Engage and, Hornet Jones is just really good. Being able to make the Link monster with just Hornet Jones or Engage and, like, one other monster, which is, like, really good. And then you play 1 Soul Charge because Soul Charge is Wind Charge. And then for the side deck, it's just a lot of things for Go Keys and Thunder Dragons and back row decks and Cyber Dragons, or just all the other stuff like Altergeist and Sky Strikers, and just like all the others, just all the meta decks. You just have the Side of Forest, have hand traps for Gokis, have Kaijus for Thunder Dragons and Sky Strikers, and then have Book of Eclipse for the Thunder Dragon matchup, because that is a really hard matchup for this deck. And then Twin Scissors for the back rows like Altergeist and Paleo and stuff like that. Then for the extra deck, you play one Caliga just to make like Honor Arc. It's not really anything else, I guess, but it's just really good to have because there's a lot of space in this deck. And then you play Millennium Eyes Restrict because it's really good at stopping hand traps, as I said before. Thousand Eyes Restrict to suck up a monster going second. One-on-one because it's really good against Sky Strikers, because you can just suck up their Sky Striker monster, and then they can't proc Ray, and then you have like Thunder Dragons, you can suck up their Colossus or Titan, so that's really good. And then you play the one Sky Cavalry to just bounce their Colossus or Titan, just any monster that's just problematic that can't destroy with card effects and stuff like that. And then you play one Borlo just to steal their monster, one Borosword, the OTK going second, and then 3 Falgo. I don't think I've ever been able to summon 3 of these, in a game, but 2 probably is just fine. You can probably just find space for other cards. And then you play one Phoenix, one Unicorn, just get rid of cards. These cards are just really generic, Link 2s and 3s. And then you play one Linkuriboh for the Thousand Eyes Restrict, the Millennium Eyes Restrict, and maybe Hornet Jones, but that's just it's very rare. But it's just for the Thousand Eyes Restrict and the Millennium Eyes Restrict. And then you play one Kagari just for the Sky Striker engine to make Falgo. And then you play one Underclock Taker. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully you understand that playing Magical Midbreaker Field, just the hand traps, Call by the Grave, Instant Fusion, all these other stuff. You can't play stuff like Solemn Strike because it's just too slow and stuff like that. And then, running all these for hire cards so you can make your Link monsters, so you can have plays and, get out your Raphael and Wiz turn 1. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace.